This program does not represent the views of this station and may be considered offensive to some listeners. This program may contain mature subject matter, including frank discussions of controversial topics. It is intended for mature, open-minded audiences. Discretion is highly advised. This program is entirely independently produced by and is copyrighted by Frank. It is broadcast here under license.
You're listening to Frank Talks Pleasures and Lifestyles, and I'm Frank because I have to be. On today's show, we are interviewing a man who is making a big splash in recent times in the world of dating and coaching. His name is The Dean. He runs the website www.dating4men. That's the number 4, dating number 4, men.com. He also does a podcast twice a week and has interviewed some of the biggest names in the world of seduction gurus, including names like Asian Playboy and Ross Jeffries. Frank Talks welcomes The Dean. Dean, how you doing?
What's going on, big dog? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Glad to have you on the show. All right.
Thank you.
We're going to start with our main question, as we always do for our very first interview segment. Dean, where were you born? And tell me everything you can about your upbringing, which eventually led you to becoming a dating coach.
Okay, I was born in Washington, D.C., up north, born 1971. I started off at a young age. I'm talking about young, where I kissed a girl in like second grade and got my butt spanked for it. Young. My dad, Ted Williams, he's doing this thing on Fox News Net right now. I used to follow him around like a puppy dog. Because my parents separated, so he always had a notebook. I mean, a big scrapbook of women, different types of women. He had like penthouse in the closet. I shouldn't be digging in this closet. Hey, if you listen to this and you're young, don't dig in your parents' closet because you might find something that you don't want to find out. But he had penthouse magazines and this game called Around the World in Bed or something. I don't know, just some weird stuff. I mean, I didn't know what was going on, but I wanted to be like him. All the women said, "Oh, you're little Ted." They call me little Ted, and I just wanted to be like my dad when I was small. And from that point, it was just, I just love to have fun. I'm a happy-go-lucky person, very great personality. I love talking and associating with people, and I just started. Just liking girls. I send them letters. I like you. Do you like me? Check the box, yes or no. I mean, I did the whole 9, and wow, wow. I mean, I did have some rough spots, but basically, I just, to answer your question, I think I got what I had from my dad. I mean, I followed my dad. I tried to follow my dad. I think that's the best way I can answer that one.
So this is a very good point, because it's been brought up time and time again in these interviews that a man who's growing up, if he's devoid of a father figure who's very good with women, he tends to have problems with women himself later on. You here are a perfect example that your father sounds like a real ladies' man, sounds like that women adored him, and you were just learning from the best as a natural.
Yes. I mean, he didn't see color. He had white women, black women, Asian women, mixed women. I mean, he just had like a rainbow correlation of women that whenever they saw him, they kissed. I mean, he was just the man. And it was like they kept calling me Little Ted, so I wanted to be like Dad.
Now, as much as you wanted to be like Dad, did you ever feel a pressure to be good with women to please your father? No, because see, the thing was, my parents were separated, so I only saw him in the summertime and maybe every other weekend. So it was just, I don't know, but I wouldn't say genetics or whatever. It's just I have his type of personality. So when I go to places, I was at that time the life of the party. I was a class clown.
I was a kid who ate 16 bananas and got my butt whipped for that too for some reason. I don't know why my stepdad whipped me for that one. But I was like the class clown, so to speak. I love having fun. I've always loved to have fun.
Now, you said that when you kissed your first girl in the second grade that you got your butt whipped. Who punished you for that?
Well, my dad. Well, what happened was when we were in PE class. Her name was Emily. I remember her name. Her name was Emily. I kissed her on the cheek. I just kissed her on the cheek. Golly! And I went to the principal's office, and my stepdad, spanked me for that, man.
And I've heard stories like this in the past where a boy does something with a girl at a very early age, very innocent, gets punished for it, and it turns him off or makes him afraid of sex. It makes him afraid of even approaching girls as an adult. Now, why do you think that did not happen to you?
Because my curiosity for women was so overwhelming. It was, to me, it was like I played football, throw up tackle with the boys. We rode bicycles, went to the pool, but still, I was still curious about girls. I was just into girls. I wouldn't say in love with them or in lust with them. It's just that I was really curious about girls because at that time, it was okay to have a girlfriend. And when we were growing up, if you gave a girl a hickey, it was like, oh my gosh, she's pregnant, because we were kids at that time. We used to go see, the thing was, it was a social gathering. We used to always go Friday nights to the roller skating rink. That was a place to go, hang out at the roller skating rink. You have couples skate. It was just like pushed into us because, you have a reputation to uphold when you're in school. Even had kids. Not that young. It's sad to say, but we were, we had a couple skate. Once everyone skated, they turned the lights off, called out couples. So, you wanted to be, okay, well, let me find a girl, let me grab her by the hand, and let's go couple skate around the circle of the rink.
Now, we're talking again about your relationship with your father. Growing up, he obviously was a ladies' man. You learned to emulate him from a very young age. You had the desire to be like him. I have to ask you this. How was your relationship with your mother, given that your parents were separated, and here you are trying to become more like the man that she separated from?
Well, my mother did not. My mother still didn't like my dad. The thing about my mother is that she allowed me to be me. She never told me I couldn't have a girlfriend. She never told me to, give a girl flowers or open doors or tell them they're pretty. She just said that, just don't see color. It's okay if you want to see anybody of any race or anything like that. It's okay. But towards my dad, she, they really didn't talk. They kind of fought a lot and everything. And she was just mom. She never stopped me from anything. Just as long as I kept maintained my grades. She was really supportive. Now, I don't think she knew that I had girlfriends at that young age, but I was, doing the sneaky things, on the phone late at night and stuff like that. So mom was cool.
So it doesn't sound like your mother gave you a hard time for being a lot like your father.
No, because she knew she could see me. She could see my dad in me. So I don't think she tried to stop me from it. She knew that, my dad, right now, my father's a really ambitious person, and he's got goals, and, he's just like the life of the party. Every time he goes to a party, he just takes it over. It's like an amazing thing. Wherever he goes, he just takes over the situation,
What do you think it is about your father that makes him so charismatic? If you had to pick maybe one or two things that you could say, yeah, it's that particular quality that makes him a truly attractive male.
I think he's really cocky. When he gets angry, he's like, do they know who they're talking to? I'm Ted J. Williams. He always would say that. Do you know who I am? I'm Ted J. Williams. He would say that all. I'm like, just cocky. He was smooth, but he was cocky, and he never let anybody really, he would never get into a serious relationship, but I think he was just cocky, man. He was just really cocky. Just full of cocky, man.